Hi everyone. So today let us move on to the fifth lesson, that is the broken ear goes missing. Okay, I hope you all have heard about the fictional character Tintin. Yes, I hope so. And Tintin is a character created by George Remy and his pen name is Hurge. Okay, so this particular chapter, it is an extract from Tintin's sixth adventure. So now let us read about the mystery of the broken ear. So look at the first picture. It is a museum of ethnography. Okay, a lot of people visit the museum and they are watching the exhibits. Okay, and look at the fifth picture. Yes, number 3542, Arumbaya fetish. The Arumbaya tribe live along the banks of the river Cauliflower in the Republic of San Theodorus, South America. Okay, so what do you mean by fetish? Fetish means an inanimate object worshipped because it is believed to have magical powers. Okay, inanimate means lifeless. Okay, a lifeless object, a lifeless or a non-living object which is being worshipped because people believe that it has some magical powers. Okay, so the picture shows the Arumbaya fetish and the Arumbaya tribe. There is a small description about Arumbaya tribe. They live along the banks of the river Cauliflower in the Republic of San Theodorus. As I have told you, San Theodorus is a fictional locale. Okay, a fictional place. It is located in South America. So in the next picture you can see the guard. Okay, guard is informing the people that it is closing time. Gracious, it is already 5 o'clock. So the closing time is 5 o'clock. So he is going to close the museum. So he requests people to leave the museum and finally he closes the museum. And in the last picture of this line you can see something mysterious or suspicious happening. Yes? Okay, let's see what it is. So now alarm ringing. Okay, come on up you get lazy bones, it's time. So it is our hero Tintin and his dog. What is the name of his dog? Yes, Snowy. Okay, we can see in this picture Tintin as well as his dog Snowy. So Tintin is trying to wake Snowy up. So he's trying to wake his dog. Meanwhile, Toreador is the guard. He is cleaning, he is doing his duty. He is cleaning the museum as well as the exhibits. And Toreador on guard. And remember, yes, Toreador, love awaits you. Toreador, tra la la la, fond eyes, gaze and adore. And he is also singing a song while he is cleaning. Okay, and while cleaning these exhibits, he found out that one of those exhibits are missing. Okay, let's see what happens. And he is running to inform the authority. Meanwhile, our hero, that is Tintin, as well as his dog Snowy, they are doing their exercise. Bend knees, raise arms, 1 2 1 2. Okay, they are doing their exercise. And now a good bath to wake us up completely. Okay, so they are going to take a bath. And here is the 8 o'clock news. So let's see what is there in the 8 o'clock news. Details are coming in of a mysterious robbery last night at the Museum of Ethnography. Okay, so what do you mean by ethnography? Ethnography means study of people and cultures and their customs as well as habits. Okay, customs, habits, etc. Study of people and culture. It is called as ethnography. So, the morning news is all about a robbery which took place in the museum. A particularly rare tribal fetish has been taken. Okay, so someone had taken away the Arumbaya tribal fetish during the last night. Okay, someone had robbed the Arumbaya fetish. The theft was discovered this morning by a gallery attendant. As there was no sign of forced entry, it is believed the thief allowed himself to be locked in at closing time yesterday, waiting for the museum to open this morning to make his getaway. Okay, so the theft or the robbery was discovered by the attendant or the guard of the museum, and there was no trace of forced entry. Okay, there was no trace of forced entry into the museum. Thus they suspected that the thief, he might have stayed in the museum for the whole night, and he escaped in the morning when the guard opened the museum. Okay, there was no forced entry. That is why they suspected so. And quick Snowy to the Museum of Ethnography. Okay, so to collect more details about the incident or this robbery, Tintin along with his dog is going to the museum. The director, I'm afraid he's busy at the moment. The police are here conducting their enquiries. Okay, so the Tintin asked the guard for the director. And what was the response of the guard? Yes, he told that the police are conducting their investigation and they are inquiring the details. So the director is busy and he won't be able to visit the director now. So now in this picture you can see the two police officers and they are Thompson and Thompson. Okay. Now let us recapitulate. The attendant closed the door yesterday at 17:12 hours. Okay, so to sum up what had happened in the last day, the attendant or the guard, he closed the door. He closed the door of the museum at 5:12 p.m. He didn't notice anything unusual. While he was closing the door, he didn't find anything unusual. He came on duty today at 7. Okay, so he returned to his duty in the next morning at 7 a.m. At 7:14, he noticed that exhibit number 3542, the fetish, had vanished and gave the alarm immediately. Okay, so then he realized that at 7:14, he realized that the fetish, the Arumbaya fetish had vanished, and then he immediately rang the alarm. Is that correct? Good. Now this attendant, is he reliable? Okay, so the police officers want to know whether this attendant is trustworthy. Can we trust him? They are asking like, can we trust him? He is above all suspicion. Suspicion means doubt. He has been working here for 12 years and has never given cause for the slightest reproach. Okay, so the director says like, he is really a trustworthy man. We can trust him. Anyway, the fetish has no intrinsic value and can only have tempted a collector, solely a collector. Okay, so the director is saying that the fetish, the Arumbaya fetish, has no intrinsic value. Intrinsic value means which belongs naturally. Okay, so this particular fetish, it has no value of its own, and thus it might have tempted only a collector. Okay, or the thief was a collector only. Okay, and a collector means a person who collects things as hobby or professionally. Okay, a collector. Good gracious, what a pleasant surprise. Why's our friend Tintin? Okay, so now Tintin meet the police officers. Okay, police officers, what is the name of the police officers? Yes, Thompson and Thompson. They meet and they were surprised to see each other. And what do you think of the theft? Okay, so Tintin asked the police officer, his friends, that what do you think about the theft? It's pretty obvious to us. Okay, so the police officer, he says that it is clear to them. The Arumbaya fetish has no value, no intrinsic value. So a collector took it. Okay, so they concluded the case by saying that it is a collector. It is a collector who had taken this Arumbaya fetish. To be precise, it took a collector to move it. So they concluded it by saying that it is the collector. The thief is a collector. Several hours later, here is the book I was looking for. I think it has something on the Arumbayas. Okay, so Tintin was looking for a certain book and he find it out. What is the name of the book? A.J. Walker Travels in the Americas. Okay, so he found the book and now he is reading the book at home. Here is something interesting. Listen, Snowy. That day we met the first Arumbayas, their copper-colored face framed by long black oily hair. They were armed with long blowpipes with which they can dispatch darts poisoned with curare. Are you listening, Snowy? So this picture gives us an idea about the Arumbaya tribe. They are having copper colored faces, then long black oily hair. Okay, and they were armed with long blowpipes with which they can dispatch darts poisoned with curare. Okay, so they will dispatch these arrows. Okay, poisoned with curare. Curare is a terrible poison, a vegetable poison. Are you listening, Snowy? So while reading this, Tintin is asking his dog, are you listening? Curare, a terrible vegetable poison that paralyzes the respiratory muscles. Oh, Arumbaya fetish. But that's the very one which was stolen. Okay, so this curare is a vegetable poison and it has the ability to paralyze the respiratory system. Paralyze means take away the ability to move. Okay, so it has the power to paralyze the respiratory muscles, and he found out that this particular Arumbaya fetish is the one who has been stolen. Curious coincidence, don't you think, Snowy? He's not interested. He's fast asleep. Oh well, I better do the same. Okay, so while reading this, he felt some sort of connection, or he felt some sort of mystery in it. Okay, so the next morning, the guard or the attendant is doing his duty, and something happened again. Let's see what it is. It is witchcraft. Hello, hello, hello. Is that you, Mr. Director, sir? Yes, speaking. Who is calling? Oh, it's you, Sydney. Yes. What? The fetish. Gracious, I am on my way. Okay, so something again happened. Okay, and the guard, he called the director to inform something. Let's see what it is. Okay, let's move on to the next page. It's extraordinary. The fetish was back in its usual place this morning, together with this letter conspicuously placed next to it. What do you think? Okay, so now again the police officers came and the director was explaining what happened. Okay, so the Arumbaya fetish was back in its usual place. Okay, in the morning when the guard opened the museum, he found out that the Arumbaya fetish was there in its usual place, and also there was a letter conspicuously placed next to it. Conspicuously means clear or easy to notice. Okay, so in such a place the letter was placed next to the Arumbaya fetish. What do you think? So he is asking, the director is asking the policeman, what do you think? In my opinion, gentlemen, the fetish is bewitched. Okay, so the police officer felt that the fetish is bewitched. Bewitched means has a spell over, or to have magical power. Okay, spell means to have some magical power. So now let us read the letter. Dear Mr. Director, I took a wager with my friends that I could take a piece from your museum. I won my bet, so I am returning the purloined object. Please accept my sincere apologies for the trouble caused. Yours sincerely, X. Okay, so this was a letter which was kept near to the fetish. It states that the person made a bet with his friends, and wager means a bet. Okay, so he made a bet with his friends, and to win this he has stolen the fetish, and now he is returning the fetish since he had won the bet, and he asks for sincere apologies. Okay, he apologizes for what he had done. Purloined means stolen. Okay, stolen object. Purloined object means stolen object, and here it is the fetish. Yes. And Tintin, now he makes a closer look of the fetish. My mind is made up. This letter is an anonymous letter. To be precise, an anonymous letter whose author is unknown. Okay, so the police officer, they concluded by saying that this letter is an anonymous letter. Anonymous means the letter of unknown authorship. So this is an anonymous letter, and they doesn't know who had written this letter. So according to the police, the case is closed. Well, that isn't my view. Okay, so the policemen, they closed the case by believing in the letter, but that was not the case with Tintin. Okay, and what is he got up his sleeve now? Okay, it means up his sleeve. Up his sleeve means to have a secret plan. So Snowy is thinking like, what is his secret plan? I beg your pardon, sir. Eyes open. Tintin, at least look where you are going. Okay, so Snowy is saying him to be careful. Okay, don't hurt yourself. And then the only one who realizes that the return fetish is a fake. Okay, so now Tintin realizes that the return fetish is a fake one. Okay, it is not the real one. And here is the proof. The author of this book states that his sketch is highly accurate, but according to the drawing, the right ear of the fetish is slightly damaged. A small piece is missing. Okay, so the proof for what he had told is that in the book which he had read, he saw the sketch of this fetish, and in that fetish, okay, a small piece of the right ear was missing. Okay, it was damaged, slightly damaged, and a small piece was missing. So it was clear that the return fetish was not the real one. But the right ear of the return fetish is intact. Intact means not damaged. It must therefore be a replica of the original. Replica means an exact copy. Okay, so he felt like this might be a replica or the exact copy of the original one. Who then would be interested in owning the original? A collector? That is quite likely. Let's see what the newspaper have to say. So he felt like it might be a collector who had taken it. He thinks himself a proper Sherlock Holmes. Okay, so Snowy felt that he is acting like a Sherlock Holmes. Okay, now he is reading the newspaper. Now Tintin is reading the newspaper. Fatal negligence. A critically acclaimed artist was found dead this morning, overcome by gas fumes in his flat at 21 London Road, according to police. Police broke into the flat after tenants called about a strong smell of gas that seems to come from a room occupied by Mr. Balthazar, a painter and sculptor. They found the artist dead on his bed. It is thought the victim had forgotten to turn off the tap on his gas stove. Curiously, his pet parrot survived, apparently unaffected by the gas fumes. Mr. Balthazar had a number of occasions attracted critical attention with a series of wooden statues carved in a manner strongly evocative of primitive sculpture. Okay, so the news states that Balthazar, a famous artist, he was found dead in his flat due to gas leakage. And according to the primary investigation, it is thought like the victim, he had forgotten to turn off his gas. And the most interesting part is that he was very good at carving wooden statues of the primitive sculptures. So after reading this news, Tintin became suspicious, or he got confused, and he is thinking more about it. While his dog is saying, stop going round in circle, you are making me dizzy. Okay, dizzy means giddy. Okay, so that's all about the story. So the story is not complete, yes, and the main purpose of the story is to make you understand what an illustrative story is. Okay, that's the purpose. So I hope the lesson is clear to you, and if you have any doubt, please ask me. And thank you and have a good day.